Right, is everybody ready? Yes, sir. Yeah, German's beat anyway. Oh, it is. All right, I'm going to open the first public hearing on the authorization of a loan agreement and the issuance of not to exceed $2.5 million general obligation capital loan notes to evidence the obligation of the city thereunder. This is the time and place for the public hearing and meeting on the matter of the authorization of a loan agreement and the issuance of not to exceed $2.5 million general obligation capital loan notes in order to provide funds to pay the cost of opening, widening, extending, grading, and draining of the right-of-way to streets, highways, avenues, alleys, and public grounds, and parking places, and the removal and replacement of dead or diseased trees thereon, the construction, reconstruction, and repairing of any street improvements, bridges, grade crossing separations and approaches, the acquisitions, installation, and repair of sidewalks, culverts, retaining walls, storm sewers, sanitary sewers, water service lines, street lighting, and traffic control devices, the acquisition of any real estate needed for any of the foregoing purposes, including for the Sycamore Street Improvements Project for essential corporate purposes, and that notice of the proposed action by the council to institute proceedings for the authorization of the loan agreement and the issuance of the note have been published as provided by sections 384.24a and 384.25 of the Code of Iowa. Christie, have any written objections been filed by any resident or property owner of the city to the issuance of these notes?
No.
All right. Any oral objections to the issuance of the notes? Okay, at this point, I will declare the time for receiving oral or written objections to be closed. All right. Any other comments or questions from the council? Any other correspondence? Kirk? All right. I will declare the hearing on the authorization of entering into a loan agreement and the issuance of the notes to be closed. All right. Now I'll open the second public hearing on the authorization of a loan agreement and the issuance of notes not to exceed $950,000 for an obligation, urban renewal capital loan notes to evidence the obligation of the city thereunder. This is the time and place for the public hearing and meeting on the matter of authorization of a loan agreement and the issuance of not to exceed $950,000 general obligation, urban renewal capital loan notes of the city of Granger, state of Iowa, in order to provide funds to pay the cost of aiding the planning, undertaking, and carrying out of the urban renewal projects under the authority of Iowa Code Chapter 403 and the North Urban Renewal Plan for the North Urban Renewal Area, as amended from time to time, including those costs associated with the acquisition of property for park, recreational, and other uses for essential corporate urban renewal purposes, and that the notice of the proposed action by the council to constitute or to institute proceedings for the authorization of the loan agreement and by the issuance of the notes and the right to petition for an election had been published as provided by sections 384.24.3Q, 384.24A, 384.25, and 403.12 of the Iowa Code of Iowa, and the clerk. Mr. Christie, has a petition been filed in the clerk's office as contemplated in 362.4 of the Code of Iowa?
That's the petition. No. It's not.
Assume not.
No.
You would know if it was. All right. So no petition has been filed requesting that the question of issuing the notes be submitted to the qualified electors of the city. Christie, do we have any written objections filed by a resident or property owner of the city to the issuance of these notes?
No.
Are there any oral objections to the issuance of the notice? Okay, at this time, the receipt of oral and written objections is closed. Objections were made. Council, any final comments? Christie, Kirk, any other comments or correspondence? All right. At this time, I will declare the hearing of the authorization of entering in the loan agreement and the issuance of these notes to be closed.
Okay, Bermal,
Yes.
Dennison,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Schreiber.
Yes. Make a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Schreiber,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bermal,
Yeah.
Dennison.
Yes.
All right. Kelly, is Kelly here? No, it doesn't look like it. They provided a little bit of explanation here in the packet. You can see it looks like they just left it on and the hose started to leak. There's also an ordinance on our reduction of billing. So technically we should be doing this at all. So I know we turned this down at the last meeting, but just wanted one last follow through to see if we wanted to do anything with this or just move forward. Everybody good? Okay. Hearing no motions, I will move to the next one. Sycamore Street Improvements Project. Ben, are you taking this one?
Yeah, so this is resolution 31. We just had a public hearing for the issuance of 2.5 million of capital loan notes for the payment of Sycamore Street and some various ancillary things along with Sycamore Street. So approval of this would allow Travis to go out and sell those notes and get that project paid.
So we want to do that. Any comments, questions from the council? Otherwise, we'll take a motion.
Motion on resolution 2025-31 instituting proceedings to take additional action for the issuance of not to exceed $2.5 million in general obligation capital loan notes.
Schreiber,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes?
Bermal,
Yes.
Dennison.
Yes.
All right. Vinstead Park, Ben?
That's right. Similarly, this is resolution 32. It's slightly different because this is in the North Urban Renewal area that we created last fall, specifically largely to allow us to have funding options that we're taking advantage of now for paying this off, including reimbursing the funds that had been advanced previously. So as soon as we get this money in, we can close the transaction, record the deed, and have full title to the property.
Questions, discussion from the council?
Make a motion on resolution 2025-32 institute proceedings to take additional action for the issuance of not to exceed $950,000 general obligation for the renewal capital loan notes.
Second.
Schreiber,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes?
Bermal,
Yes.
Dennison.
Yes.
Okay, Vinstead Park Grading Project. Bob, are you taking this one?
Sort of. I didn't work on the project, but I put together stuff to do quotes. So we received quotes for the project, and if you remember, we talked about, we received quotes for 2 schedules, good and small, next spring. We also did quotations for just the base project, which is everything west of the gas street. And then we added an alternate for stripping the topsoil off the east part. So what you'll see in the summary is there's a total base bid for both the spring, the fall and the spring, and the base for the alternate. So the way the bidding documents are structured is the council first needs to decide, are they going to do quotation schedule 1, which is a fall completion, or quotation schedule 2, which is the spring quotation. Once you decide that, you can decide whether or not you want to do the base bid only, or if you want to do the base bid and the alternate bid. Once you make those two decisions, then you look to see who the low quoter is for the project's schedule and scope that you select. Now, I will note that we are under the threshold. The threshold for competitive quotations is $206,000. So if we can award a contract using this procedure for more than $206,000. So if you look at the quotes received, you have quotes that are under that as well as quotes that are over that. So you can pretty much ignore the three higher quotations. I would also note that the highest quotation, CJ Wyndham, actually bid the wrong form. They bid the form without the alternate. So they're not a responsive quotation. But if you look at the numbers, they weren't particularly responsive. They weren't really thrilled about bidding the job. So that's what we have. We can kind of work our way through what you want to do, schedule, scope, and then consider the award contract.
So because of that order, that's why it's structured in the agenda, that we'll have first a motion on what deadline you want the project completed on, then a motion on whether you want to include alternate bid or not, and then action on the resolution incorporating those first two motions.
Okay.
And let me throw a couple more things out there. So, with one of the bidders being Jared's company, whatever it is, he'll have to abstain for conflict of interest purposes. So, for calculating the votes tonight by city ordinance, and which is from the state law, resolution requires the majority vote of all members of the council. And then all members of the council specifically defined as all seats, including a vacant seat. So we're at 5, but not including a seat if the council member declines to vote for conflict of interest. So we're at 4. So that's the majority of 4. So that's going to be 3 votes. Grant's seat doesn't vote, so that's going to be a 3-0 vote to pass the resolution.
Paul, you want to start discussion on number 1 then? Time frames?
Yeah, someone walking through this is the first time seeing the sheet.
Yeah, so the top sheet is the base bid to complete by December, so the top half.
Schedule 1.
Schedule 1.
Schedule 1 is a fall completion. Schedule 2, it's a spring completion. I understand they can still do it this fall, but you're not obligated. Schedule 1, you're obligated to complete it this fall.
So under the six things are the 6 items of work we put in. The total base bid line item is what it would be to do those items we wanted to do. And then we added the extra potential of stripping the topsoil. So that's an extra line item, and then the total base bid and alternate is your numbers for doing everything. For Schedule 1 to complete by December 31st. To Bob's point, Schedule 2, same numbers, same options, same alternate, but that would not have to be done until June of 2026.
And as you can see, some bidders were the same number in the spring and fall. Some were lower in the fall than the spring, and some were lower in the spring and the fall. It all depends on how they view their costs and time and how busy they are.
Due to the cost of the bids, you basically will be looking at columns 1 and 2. Because the other 3 are over the threshold.
Well, there's no combination, because I mean, once we do that, we're still supposed to go award a contract with the lowest responsive bidder. So no matter what combination you look at, you're only looking at the 2 bidders. Because there's no combination that gets the 3, 4, and 5 to be the lowest responsive bidder, unless you have some basis for saying neither of the 2 low bidders are responsive. But even if you did, you couldn't award the contract because it wrote the $206,000. So you can't make it 3, 4, and 5 no matter what shenanigans you want to try to play.
So basically what you 3 have to decide is, do
you want the work done in December or June? And then do you want this topsoil stripped in the bid or not? And then based on that, come to your numbers. Now, so, yeah. Discussion, questions from the council here?
So I'm understanding correctly, regardless who they are, we have to take the lowest bid if it's reputable.
No, it's responsive and responsible bidders.
So Construct, are they?
Construct may take some selections.
No, I'm saying, are they, do they fit
As
that,
far as I know,
that
I've worked
definition?
with them before, at this point, we have no reason, I don't believe, to say that they aren't, they couldn't accomplish the work. I'm not saying they're perfect. There's no contractor that is.
Is there any information you can share about it, just to help inform us? That we don't know anything about?
Really much not. They either have to be,
Doesn't matter, just see are there.
yeah, that's fine. Isn't that right?
But,
Is they either our contractor or they're not?
So if they're on the sheet, they're legitimate. That's good enough for the standard.
I've had them on a couple of free projects, and, they did okay. I mean, I've had others in that group that did worse. So I don't think, Jimmy, I don't think I can say the standard today and say that based on my knowledge, there's any reason to say that they're not a responsive bidder. And responsive means, just so you clarify, responsive means that they fill out the paperwork accordingly. So for example, Cedar Moina, who did use the right bid form, is not a responsive bidder. Responsible means are they capable of, do you have any reason to believe they're not capable of doing the work? Now, they still have to, so they still have to perform the work, but they're not going to get paid. So
Then the only decision we have is whether we want it done this fall or this spring. And then that will determine what contract it is. Based on the lowest bid.
that's correct. Yeah.
And whether you do the strip topsoil option on top of
That
that.
doesn't really affect,
That's a secondary.
You have to make that decision, but it doesn't change who the lowest bidder is.
that doesn't change, it changes the scope and not the selection.
So we could take the June schedule 2, and that's that could be done this fall.
It could be done as long as.
And that would be a contractor election. If you chose to do it early.
No, you pick the schedule.
Right.
All the schedule says is one, you have to be done by December 31st, two, you have to be done by June 30th. So,
And then they basically let us know when they do it.
yeah,
Oh, so if we pick June 30th, it's not a rush for us. And then contractor A or B shows up next month to do it,
that's fine, yeah, that's their call. We don't tell them when to start, we just tell them when they have to finish.
Any funding advantages, does say in June, as opposed to say fall? Cash flow, is there any advantage? We've passed the resolution, so the money's gonna be.
We're recouping money.
Okay. No, we're.
You just passed the 900.
That 216.
That's right.
Whatever it was, it's coming back.
So we have the funds.
Well, yeah, you passed
To your point.
it's a refund of lost money that will be used. You passed that resolution to get paid back, including the lost money. That money will be back in the kitty. It's been on this, which is what I'm saying. Last month.
Thoughts on one council? December, June.
Strong feelings, I need a timeline.
I think we thought this fall would get us grass seed growing, but that's not gonna happen if it's done December anyway. There's no grass growing in December.
I would say regardless of who the contractors are, the cheapest one, the one that's gonna, as far as we know, can get done. That's just the citizen, that's what we have to go with, regardless of who's the satellite. And there's an advantage going to June, having, or not June, but having to be done by what, November? Is that what it was? December, sorry.
December 31.
So it has to be done at the end of this year, the first one. Or is there an advantage there from a field readiness? Like, is there an advantage to have it done by the 31st of December versus June? If there is a field advantage, then I say we have to do that. Because it's cheaper and it's done soon. If there's no advantage, then there's no reason not to rush or whatever.
The lowest number is December 31.
Right.
But to your point, it's 4,000. And we could always not do the topsoil option too. And then it's another 15,000, 13,000.
Okay, you just said the topsoil option, so that's in play.
So do you see A1,
I do.
A2?
I do.
That's an extra thing we added on there on the last meeting. So remember, we said we're gonna do, well, we wanna do these 6 things.
Yep.
But we could also, now that they removed that gas line, strip the topsoil off everything and add that as well. So that A1, A2 is an optional line item, right? So it's got, you can, you know, the numbers you guys have to kick around are 185, 614, 191, 200, 204, 190, 191, 205, 204, right? And those are really what we're looking at. If you want the lowest number there is, right, that would be Schedule 1, construct by December 31st, that number is 185.6. But that's not stripping the topsoil.
Right. Okay.
That topsoil we're gonna use again for,
We do either we stockpile it, sell some of it, or we stockpile it and use it.
That was an object project that you remember the discussion, the last council meeting, was there's extra dirt in that east part of it. So that you can't get to it unless you strip the topsoil. So you took the topsoil off, then it'd be easier if you wanted to, if you had dirt, you wanted to take somewhere else or sell it or whatever else.
we need some on public safety side.
Not the topsoil, clay. So if we did the full bed, which is including, which is the 206 or the 204, that will strip the topsoil, pile it on the east side. Then we have the option, can you go ahead and strip the clay at some point and utilize that clay on other areas of town?
Now, we already do have a strip topsoil on the top 6 here, so we're already stripping the topsoil off and using that for public safety and for the lots, right?
So it probably wouldn't hurt to strip it, and then we have access to the clay.
But he's asking about the public safety building. What I'm saying is that's in the bid, number 2.
Yeah.
Right? Number 2 and number 8 are the strip of the topsoil of the 2/3 over here.
Yeah.
The extra is stripping the topsoil off the rest of it.
So that's extra topsoil beyond other needs, we're talking about public safety and stuff.
That was my understanding, but maybe that's not right. Is that right?
The extra line item, the 15 and the 13.5 are to strip the black dirt off the east side and stockpile it. Once that's done, we then have access without having to strip the black dirt to go get the clay out of it, do something else with that. We'll need to determine we'll need to see where we're at, but it's determined that we have extra clay there. We just need to strip the soil off of it, and then we have access to get to it.
As I understand it, in the west half of the basement, they're stripping it and also putting some back. Those numbers are not going to match up, but the stripping on the east side is just is included in there. So the stripping respread is included in the basement, unless they tell me wrong. And then the east end is just strip, there's no respread.
Well, I don't feel like we have an option but to go with the lowest bid. I don't know. Regardless who it is, where it is, what it is, I feel like we have to go with the lowest bid. That's my 2 cents.
And that's is that the 200?
The way I read it, yeah, it looks like that's construct 200 and done. Yeah, just
100
here.
or 185.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, let's just assume we're including the strip topsoil in the east area for everything. So no matter when it's done, that's the cheapest bid, and that's done sooner.
And just so I'm clear, I think I agree with Rob. It's not in our purview to, I want to support great businesses. That's just not in our purview of the decision in front of us to show favoritism or anything like that. We've got to do what's right by the public.
Yeah, it's where I'm at. This sit where we sit, we can even consider that personally. I'm gonna do it with anybody local that I can, every time, even if I pay more. In this case, I don't know how. I think we just, even though we want to keep stuff close by, I just don't feel like I can. If it's a reputable company that's gonna get it done and it's cheaper and it's sooner, I don't really know that, I don't really know that I have a choice or an option here than to go with the lowest bid.
Do you have any thoughts? No, that's fine.
Right. You guys want to do this strip topsoil? A1?
Yeah, if we're going to do it, let's answer the questions that Ben has in his.
Yep, so the first action item is December 31 or June 15 for justified motion.
Okay, so we need a motion to complete the project by December 31st, 2025, if that's the
To
option.
consider Schedule 1.
To consider Schedule 1. A motion to consider Schedule 1 on the bid acceptance.
Okay, the motion is to consider schedule 1 on the bid for bid options.
Second.
Vectorson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bermal,
Yes.
West.
Abstain.
Now your motion would be, if you want to do it, the motion would be to select the base bid and alternate.
Okay. So then if you guys want to do topsoil on the whole project, do Bob's motion.
Let me ask this. Topsoil is, in the other bid, is lower. Do you have to keep it the same?
No, I mean, there can be different amounts of work on it, if you look at it.
What I'm saying is we got 13.5 versus 15. And again, I don't care who it is, 13.5 just happens to be our option cheapest. Why couldn't we do that?
The way that we're in construction, you can only go, you have to go with basically the structure, which is you have to pick the scope, the schedule, the scope, and then a work. You can't, it isn't structure, so you can start
So I can't do that.
picking and choosing.
No, okay. That's what I meant. The short answer.
I mean, if,
That might not be the price, but that's the only
Right,
it's.
I understand that.
That might
Yeah, there's no economy of scale there, so I wouldn't be interested that we lose the town. So you guys made the right decision.
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you could in theory say we're not going to do it and go get quotes for that, but I don't think you should.
No, so what I'm understanding is we want to do this all at once, take care of the topsoil, strip it, right?
Yeah. I think so.
So what do we need? A highway workers.
You want to select the base bid and alternate A1.
Okay, make a motion to accept the base bid and A1, which includes strip topsoil east area.
Second.
Nixon,
Yes.
Johnson, Burnwell,
Yes.
Travis.
Based on that, we now consider award contract with the lowest responsive bidder for the schedule and scope that you selected. So you'd be looking at this line. It's 200, 614, 204, 897. So that's the line we look at to say who is the lowest responsive bidder.
Which line are you talking about?
200, 614, 60.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got it. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the total base bid and alternate A, Schedule 1, for $200,640.60 to Construct Incorporated.
Second.
Nixon,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Burnwell,
Yes.
Travis.
Can I say yes? It's the right decision, so. Right now, abstain or yes.
I was just All right. Okay, good. Anything else on that one? Okay, let's move to Oak Street. So it looks like we got 5 bids in front of us here.
Yeah.
Okay, 38,000, 30,000.
Low bid is Freedom Flat Work.
Low bid, Freedom Flatwork, 30,581.
Yep.
And everything's the same, right?
And this is essentially to do everything, right? And Fairway would reimburse us for their portion of that, which, are they paying, right? Is it 5 and 5 or is it
Yeah.
6 and 4? Okay.
I didn't, we won't confirm that, but should be fine.
So essentially, if we accept the low bid of 3581 here, Fairway pays half of it. We're looking at a road use expense of 15,300 basically. 37, 32,500, 33,700.
Which were the 2 bids we had previously?
We had Absolute Jordison didn't bid because they're Fairway's contractors.
Okay, so we didn't ask them. No, we did not.
What was it the last time? Was it 37 to 38 range?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 18 and change.
18 and 19.
There's 38 gold.
Two ads.
It's 38,000. Was the last bid.
No, that was for 2, I mean, that was adding up 2 separate bids though, right? We didn't bid, these are bidding the whole project. If that makes sense.
And it's gonna be done before.
Fairway opens. Yeah, December 17th.
Okay, so say 7 or 8 grand on this route, not all 14 that we were talking about last time.
Well, they had a scope to it. You had baskets and rock, there's $3,500 to $4,000 additional.
Are we good with that? I'm just gonna go with the low one, right?
As long as people know Freedom Flatwork. As long as Freedom Flatwork, I don't.
I've heard of All-Star, Jensen, and Absolute.
But again, it sounds like that's not our purview. If they're legitimate in front of us.
Right.
Yep.
They came recommended.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
All right, let's get a motion.
So make a motion to approve Oak Street concrete repair, project 2, Freedom Flatwork LLC, for the amount of $3,581.
Second.
Nixon,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Burnwell,
Yes.
Travis.
Yes.
Okay. All right, next one, IPID complaint. We've reached out to an expert in this to provide a response on our behalf of the city, so want the council's approval to do that. Just figure it's got a third party look at everything and all the facts and come back with a report.
Yeah, so that was from Nightmaster, worked for the state for many years, and now it's at Nightmaster doing this type of work, not exclusively, but substantially. And I know him well for many times. And he was also referred initially by Mary Funk that helped us with the employment law issues earlier this year. So this is his engagement letter to respond to the IPIF complaint that was forwarded out to everyone a few weeks ago, with the intent of getting an answer in here in the next 6 days.
Work back from that answer in the next 6 days.
Yep.
Can you give me a high level of this cost?
Hourly rates in here, I believe is $375 an hour.
Agreed?
Yeah, just a motion to sign.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve engagement letter with Non-Master Good PC for representation in connection with Iowa Public Information Board complaint 25FC:0111.
Second.
Yes.
Souter?
Yes.
Berman?
Yes.
Schreier?
Yes.
All right, now we have action to approve submitting a firehouse subs grant, application.
Yep, I was actually asked to speak on this. Emily went to a ton of work here to put this together, and basically it just needs council approval. They need minutes saying that we approved the city to make that application. So I would say if we're in favor of free money, we say yes. We've done this. We have before. Yep. Yep. No, there's no commitment on our side in terms of that. So just the work we've put into it so far, but there's no financial matching on it that I'm aware of in any way.
Any idea what the upside is here? What's the possible grant?
Oh, and what's the amount? She's got it in here. So it's, I don't know, I was thinking 30,000. That might be a different grant. She's applying for 18,000.
Very good. Total cost of the equipment,
Yeah,
36,586.
there you go.
Wow.
Yep. They do give a lot out. It's a tough grant to get because it's very popular, but that's why she wants to get it in right away, right at the deadline.
Yeah, she made a submission of 10 square Gun Ranger too, and we got 2,000 for the auxiliary last week too, so a couple grand for turnout here. Nice, group that helps insurers.
Oh, man, absolutely.
I think it's due that 9th of October, so
Ready for a motion?
If you guys are.
All right, make a motion to approve submitting the firehouse subs grant non-matching application.
Second.
Amundson?
Yes.
Souter?
Yes.
Berman?
Yes.
Schreier?
Yes.
All right, so there are a couple bills that we get done in the last council meeting. Looks like some trees that we purchased and,
They've already been.
yeah, we planted them already, so I hope you guys are.
6,000.
Then just the storage rental.
Were these the trees I set aside the bill in July, asking what they were? It was like 5 trees for $6 or something like that.
This is a part of the original. So it's part of the original that we planted, and then Aaron had some of these planted.
It was 6,600.
Well, it looked like a big number when I did finance committee, so I asked about it, and somebody told me it was like 5 trees for $6,000, which seemed.
6 trees for $6,000 something, and it was out of the water treatment. Right?
Is that reasonably expensive?
Seems high to me. I don't know how big these trees are or what we're moving for.
Is this 6 additional trees, or is it from his original?
Because there was one invoice for moving trees that we had one, the tree from City Hall got moved. It was $300. It was almost like I remember it being like a budget.
Well, yeah, it's the July one, they did.
We've got it right here, $6,600 to move 6 white pines, which struck me as odd, but at the time.
Which is the exact same as this bill from 9/23. It's in the council packet.
It was from Parsons, I remember that. Okay.
Oh.
He didn't get paid because it didn't get
Same
done.
thing. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But are they 6 new trees or is this moving 6 trees? Only 6 trees.
So this is the original bill with the new date on it.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Great questions. seriously, because, that's a lot of money.
I still just
And we
want
didn't have a tree moved also by then. The one in front of City Hall, we got rid of that tree.
Okay, so does the council need something from here?
That was just,
I still haven't seen conservation had in July when they saw this stuff over time. Moving 6 trees for $6,600 is a lot of money for taxpayers to spend.
Now, is this
Without understanding more of why, like, was there an actual need to remove the trees because they were?
yeah, how big are they, what's the?
They're probably 12-foot trees and they didn't move them, they're new ones. They're new ones.
So if they spade them in, I mean, I guess that's one thing, but is this already, was it in the budget? Did it need to come to us before it was done?
I'll get all that.
Okay. I don't think we should approve it yet, then.
That's fine.
what does that say on there for how much?
6,600.
What does it say for description?
It just says white pine.
6.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
All right, so,
So he didn't move those trees, didn't he?
storage rental, yes, we'll get one. Storage rental, 1950,
Yeah,
on the invoice on page
that's
23.
just your storage rental across the street. That was,
For 6 months. All right, so you guys decided, if you guys want to approve that bill, or you want to wait until the regular council?
I'm fine with storage rental. That doesn't, I didn't have any previous feelings or objections to that. I'd like a little more information on the trees.
All the more reason to, as soon as possible, build public safety.
Yeah.
We're paying rent on a trailer. for
4K one,
We're
yeah.
paying rent
4K a year
across
for
the
police.
streets.
Yeah.
You know, it all adds up.
So it does.
But yes, we need a motion to approve bills and payment.
You just want to approve the 2693.
Okay, make a motion to approve invoice 2693 for the payment of storage unit for the fire department.
Second.
Son,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Bermal,
Yes.
Trapp.
Yes.
Good. All right, anything else?
6 white pines stated in the water plant. They're all new, not moved. This is the 3rd year creating a windbreak on the north property line.
So that was probably a budgeted, that it's already in his budget. So the reason it came to our attention is we saw when we were doing bills.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
I
right?
got my bills for payment.
Right.
It just struck me as strange, and I was curious.
Why we do it, right? That's why you're reading.
So, I guess it's.
And so the discrepancy was, we did buy some for what we did plan in the park that were purchased from separate vendors. I didn't want to speak out of turn that that's what those were for. These were for creating windbreak, wastewater grounds maintenance fund is what it's coming out of.
So budgeted item that I don't have any objections.
Okay, you guys want to make a motion on that then?
You're good, we know what it is, we're good.
Let's see.
Have we seen the trees? We know there's trees.
I drove by this morning.
Okay. Then Okay, and how tall are they?
10, 12 foot.
Okay, so they were,
They're good.
they're 10-year trees that were brought in. Okay, then I'm good with that too.
I'm fine. Thank you, Kirk.
Okay, motion to approve the bill for payment of the new trees at the water line.
Second.
Son,
Yes.
Trapp,
Yes.
Bermal,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
All right, now anything else for me?
No, I'm good.
All right, adjourned.